According to Mythos, 100% of you are subscribed. Good job!
The simulated universe. It genuinely is one of my favorite game modes of all time, mainly because of the roguelike aesthetic that it has brought within Star Rail. And I will admit that at the very beginning, when it first came out, it did start feeling a little bit dull and boring, especially because we had to do them in order to farm for planar sets and such. But I genuinely love the fact that they didn't let this game mode just rot and die, that they expanded it further with the expansion modules in Storm Disaster and Golden Gears, as well as the Herta Unknowable domain, but then they also created the Divergent universe that allowed us to farm for relics so much faster and also give a nice little spin to everything, right? And at this point, the human comedy chapter, so to speak, of the Divergent universe is about to end. So I thought, what a better time to talk about the curios and their lore. I feel like this is also perfectly coupled with the fact that we got that one Herta animation where Herta is cooking and never let her cook again because she's using the curios like they're freaking cooking tools, and it's I think it's just genuinely a health hazard, I feel, at that point. But yeah, no, like I wanted to talk about the lore of the curios. I'm separating this in chapters, so to speak, so it'll be 5 videos that will be dropping throughout the week that I hope you guys will be able to enjoy. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think about these curios. Like, which one do you think is like very lore implicating, which like lore relevant, better said, which one is like disturbing for you, which one is fascinating for you. And at the end of the segment of me reading all the curios for this video, I will have a few thoughts and ideas that I've gotten from reading these that I hope that you guys will enjoy. So with all that being said, let us head on with the video.
The Ambergris Cheese. Once upon a time, a helper robot turned Ambergris of Abundance into cheese on a whim to satisfy its little master's seemingly never-ending appetite. Unexpectedly, the Ambergris cheese started to multiply on its own. The helper robot and the master worked at full speed, but their digestion still could not keep up with how fast the cheese was multiplying. Therefore, they had to ask for help from a group of passing morning actors and escape to another world on a gondola. That one world in the cosmos is still stuffed full of delicious cheese to the day, packed so tight that not a single centimeter of space is left. The story teaches an important lesson about not wasting food. Angel Type I.O.U. Dispenser. A depth dispenser distributed by the Business Consolidation Department of the Interastral Peace Corporation. Once the outer shell is opened, it will condense into an angel-shaped counter through electron particle wave projection. The IPC simultaneously produced many types of this item, including one that can be worn on the wrist or in the shape of a huge pillow that acts as a sleeping aid. When using it, the client needs to periodically feed it gold coins, and will receive returns many times higher than the principal at the end of the depth cycle. In essence, it is an investment product. The Beacon Coloring Paste. The bright, visually stimulating colors of the Beacon Coloring Paste allow the Galactic Rescue Team to easily spot signs written with it. It was invented by a nameless who possessed great artistic abilities. This nameless once experienced a flight incident and was trapped in a barren and desolate star system. In the end, with the use of scraps from a white dwarf star fragment, he was able to produce the most magnificent item in the history of search and rescue, the Beacon Coloring Paste. The Black Hole Trap. The places where the space-time curvature are most extreme are suspected to be locations cast in the vast shadow of the Aeon of Nihility. However, as their presence is shrouded in mist and mystery, there have been many scholars who thought they have received revelations from the Aeon, causing them to leave all behind and seek Nihility's gloom, without even thought or concern to their own safety. In the end, none of them ever returned. It is a common belief among mainstream academic circles that this is a trap intentionally set by hidden powers. But according to survey data, there truly seems to be some kind of unknown energy flowing through these parts for reasons unfathomable. The Casket of Innacuracy. Each side of this casket can be opened. The spaces that should be overlapping are not overlapped. Due to this characteristic, no one can be sure of what will happen when the box is open. Therefore, it is not recommended to store anything in it. The Cavity System Model. Herta once collected a model for the sake of a faraway story she heard. The federal government of the Cavity System always found themselves irregularly hard-pressed by a storm of invading inflatable candies. Thus, their financial affairs department were forced to spend uncountable credits to resolve the damages inflicted upon their corroded soil each natural year. Once, there was a nameless that passed by this planet, and they sought to suss out its shape, and, after several months of exploration, they cried out in shock, "The universe is irregularly shaped, just like a tooth." Chaos Trametes. Clouds are born from a collection of moisture. They are created for no purpose and dissipate without forewarning. However, when humans gaze upon the randomly created clouds, they often project their imagination onto these shapes. The Doctors of Chaos do not believe in absolute nihility. All that appears meaningless must have its own irrefutable purpose. Chaos Trametes is their most common curio item, used to restore the confidence of despairing self-annihilators to have purpose in their lives again. The Cosmic Big Lotto. The marketing tactics for the Cosmic Big Lotto, sold by the Interastral Peace Corporation's Marketing Development Department, is as passionate and hot-blooded as Oswaldo Schneider himself. You just need one galactic currency to bet on your luck and become a trader in the experience of making dreams, where everyone has a chance to become a cosmic tycoon and join the business structure. Under Oswaldo Schneider's marketing strategy, few new worlds are able to resist such temptations. They eagerly join the Interastral Peace Corporation's universal business structure to win an entry ticket, obtaining the right to operate the Cosmic Big Lotto in their own realms. The Dimension Reduction Dies. 9 six-sided dies make up this bizarre pyramidal device. It can continuously reduce the number of dimensions it occupies and exists in, the three-dimensional world as purely as two-dimensional entity. No one knows who created it or why. The Entropic Die. Entropic dies are common in the universe and cause countless tiny but malevolent disturbances. To use it, you grab the die tightly and think of any meaningful sentence in your head. Then, as you throw the die, think about the food you want to eat the most. You will receive unexpected wealth if the die lands on a certain number, and wonderful love on another number. But the ends you will meet for other numbers include illness, bad luck, curses, and lifelong rain. Despite this, many people still love to play with these dice and happily declare that these items are just a joke made by the masked fools. The Faith Bond. The Interastral Peace Corporation staff members who are promoted to level P40 gain the right to purchase Faith Bonds. These bonds indicate Louis Fleming's affirmation of the individual staff and come with a sacred vow. The staff now have a place in the Amber Lord's destined achievement of preservation. One person's ability amounts to nothing. Their wealth also amounts to nothing. And their faith is like a single particle of dust in the wide starry seas. However, generations of humanity will join together and ultimately attain the power to protect the entire universe. Family ties. An escapee reported that he had acquired a family ties after opening a peculiar box, and inadvertently entered a gathering of the family that venerates Shippei, the Harmony. He described witnessing an unprecedented scene. The will of numerous heavenly bodies were intertwined, coiling together into a single bound knot. Under family ties, people open their eyes wide, their faces etched with eerie smiles, staring at one another with identical expressions. When he voiced a question at the scene, everyone in the grand hall simultaneously shifted their gaze towards him and spoke with the same voice.
Welcome.
The escapee was instantly unnerved, and in a desperate bid for survival, he too held his eyes wide, his face plastered with the same smile. The Fool's Mask. The mask of the masked fools is a symbol towards their faith in the elation, and wearing said mask is effectively an admission ticket when they gather at the tavern at the edge of the world. These masks are made of heavy material, are vibrant in color, and with a maniacal smile, yet with surprisingly intricate brushstrokes, as if waiting for each playful prank. They bear the devout certification of the masked fools, but it seems like they were all stolen from the ship of the mourning actors. The Fortune Glue. Is luck an ability? Maybe. Can luck be changed? Herta believes it can. That genius invented the Fortune Glue. Just apply it on your eyelids and you would get a full 24 system hours worth of good luck. Many at Herta's space station were ecstatic to try out this invention. They all had an uneventful day, which shows that it is already lucky to be able to live an ordinary life in a turbulent world. The fruit of the alien tree. This heart-shaped fruit comes from a tree blessed by I.O.U, and is supposedly 50 Ember eras old. It is unclear whether the fruit would give immortality to those who eat it, but the tree itself is definitely an immortal abomination. The gold coin of discord. Not all planets opened their arms and welcomed the expansion of the Interastral Peace Corporation's commercial empire. While the cosmic map kept expanding, there were always rare exceptions that refused the IPC's beneficence. "Thank you," they stated, "but we don't need credits. We can look after ourselves just fine." The representative of the IPC would usually shrug at these statements, then casually destroy the root of that planet's commercial system. It is usually based on gold. The Illusory Automaton. Automatons fabricated by the history fictionologists are rumored to have been made to create a large amount of high-quality fabrications that can be symbolically understood as a high-efficient and multicolored smokescreen. However, due to the history fictionologists' poor ability when handling their own historical documentations, The automatons eventually discovered their own illusory design by reading such classified texts, and furthermore, called another matter in question. Could the history fictionologists themselves be fabrications as well? Interastral Big Lotto. How do you make a business model last? After getting rave reviews from their cosmic Big Lotto, the Interastral Peace Corporation's business consolidation department followed Oswaldo Schneider's product vision and put the Interastral Big Lotto on the market, hoping that it would bring them success as well. They even connected 86 complementary industrial production chains and promoted them as a single entity. However, although the Lotto goddess Beatrice Bellanine, the IPC wished to develop as their spokesperson for their product, perished due to reasons unknown. The IPC still reaped a windfall of credits in the end, however. That is kind of terrifying. Okay, I would need to look into the lore of everything, but I feel like, mysterious reasons is probably that they died by Boothill. It's just, it's something related to Oswaldo Schneider, and this is just the only thing I can think of. Laurel Crown of Planar Shifts. After the most intelligent minds from each star system are acknowledged by the Intelligentsia Guild, they could be granted the Laurel Crown of Planar Shifts at the Imperial Sentient Ceremony. The leaves of the Laurel Crown are made of leaves of decayed metons, and the crown itself is woven in the shape of branches using quantum beams. After the acknowledgement one puts it on, they will feel that they exist in a different plane of the universe. The man-made meteorite. Within the span of a century, 3 geniuses who drew the gaze of the erudition aeon were born on the same planet. They were Bodan, number 7, Lambda, number 8, and Klein, number 9. Hence, this epoch was known as the Golden Age. Rumor has it that something of a romantic comedy unfolded between the trio, as during this time, Klein, number 9 of the Genius Society, once created a man-made meteorite for number 7, Bodan. And upon the meteorite's surface existed a replica of the Eye of Erudition, the Obliteration Wick Trimmer. If this candle wick trimmer is used to cut a wick, the angry antimatter legion flames will ignite the candle, and the entire candlestick will be obliterated within seconds under the intense particle collisions. Exothermic reactions will be immediately triggered if this trimmer grazes your skin. Any part of the body that the trimmer touches will instantly turn into antiprotons, reverberate through the body, and then scatter. The Omniscient Capsule. There is a group in the Intelligentsia Guild that believes science was originally the same as magic, that advanced science is magic and rigorous magic is science. They drew inspiration from ancient fantastic mythologies and created the Omniscient Capsule, a lightweight and convenient storage gadget. The Intelligentsia Guild planned for the Omniscient Capsule to ultimately lead to independent demiplanes, thus obtaining infinite space beyond the advanced special compression technologies currently in use. And they are still trying. So, wait, is this a bag of holding? Punklorde Mentality. Life is just a game. This sentence is no mere jest for hackers from the cyber world Punklorde. They traverse the internet and use a technology known as ether editing to alter reality, making life into a great game. Occasionally, the cream of the crop among them gets to soar away from their planet and use the vast cosmos as a second stage beyond the tutorial area. This cassette tape records the story of a legendary hacker. His life began in Punklorde's underground water reservoirs and ended in the company of the Galaxy Rangers. It is said that the funeral was a quiet one, with only a game cassette silently sitting atop the coffin, serving as a footnote of "finished the game" at the hacker's final rites. The record Beyond the Sky. The Beyond the Sky choir lost their faith when Enna the Order was absorbed by Shippei. The once solemn chords fell silent, and stars turned mute. Only a few records, made by the choir's devoted audience, remain in this world today. When these records are placed within specific phonographs, you will hear songs from the end of the universe, sounds that contain the beauty of the Order. The last phonograph of the Order was destroyed in the Emperor's War, and now the thick layer of dust on the records are protests to that soundless era. The Robe of the Beauty. The entire universe bowed before the grace of the Knights of Beauty while they still traversed the skies. These noble knights who chased beauty wore resplendent gold and silver armor and donned magnificent robes woven from silk and starlight. They had divinely beautiful features under their helmets, even in the current era when the beauty had already faded. Those who had witnessed the magnificence of the knights still believe Idrilla will return one day. The Rubert Empire Mechanical Cogwheel. Number Rubert II professed to have inherited the memories of Emperor Rubert, listed as Genius Society number 27, and initiated the second cosmos-spanning anti-organic Emperor's War. With the war came terrible calamity, and at the end of the conflict, the IPC sent vast amounts of credit to repeatedly appraise Number Rubert II's remains. This, however, led to a dreadful revelation. Number Rubert II was a being of flesh and tissue. I kind of had to just take a quick second to let that sink in. What do you mean the robot Emperor Rubert II was a being of flesh and I am concerned and I need to figure more of this out now.
Alright, so I wanted to add this segment here to talk about some of the curios that I thought to be like just fascinating as a whole, whether they be disturbing, intriguing, or lore relevant. I just wanted you guys to also know my opinion, just as I want to hear you guys, your opinions down in the comments. So I really hope you've been enjoying this video, and with that being said, let us talk about them. The first one being the Ambergris Cheese. And you might be wondering, why in particular the Ambergris Cheese? It's mainly trauma, I'm not gonna lie. I thought ambergris was a made-up word, and then I ended up learning that it is in fact not a made-up word, and that it is actually just whale vomit, meaning that the Ambergris Cheese of abundance is the vomit of some sort of abundance creature. And just as a whole, that is disturbing. I don't like it. The next curio that I wish to talk about is the Black Hole Trap, in particular by the implication of a higher power being the one that like leaves these traps, and because it's associated to Shadows of Nihility, it's kind of my belief that this may be set up by either Doctors of Chaos that want to experiment further and learn more about the Nihility, or alternatively, the one that I feel like is the most likely in my personal opinion, just that these traps are set up by Dr. Primitive. I could easily see Dr. Primitive just being a menace to society and being like, oh, I'm gonna experiment with this place in particular and reset them all and then leave the little place behind, you know? The next curio that I wanted to talk about was the fruit of the alien tree, in particular because I will not deny that I forgot that this curio existed back when I was talking about all the trace level up materials, and one of them is associated with the alien tree. So here, having direct confirmation that this is something that is born out of Yaoshi is concerning. It could also be like a different alien tree, you know, but like just the fact that they have the same naming convention kind of leads me to believe that Von Wack might actually be connected to the abundance. In particular, Shuhu, because there were a lot of people talking about how they never found a body. So as a whole, I'm just concerned for that particular place. I'm not thrilled to go to that specific planet if we ever do go there. But at the same time, my lore brain needs answers, so I want to go there as well. But yeah, no, let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I also found incredibly messed up the lore of the golden coin of Discord, in particular how they mention how, like, if you do not comply with the beliefs of the IPC, they're just gonna come in, tank your economy, and then enforce their own rule upon you, which is likely something that happened to a lot of the places that they've already been to, such as, like, you know, Topaz's world, Adventurine's world, Boot Hill's world. So having the implications of them having that much power to the point of creating economic collapse is just concerning. I'm also scared for Amphorius, in particular for others. I'm not going to reveal why just yet, but there's something that I'm just like, ooh, the IPC would love that, you know? Last but certainly not least, there are two more curios that I want to talk about, and I feel like they're more like gag curios than anything, but just how it's concerning how the Fortunte Glue mentions that having a relaxed day, like a day where nothing happens, is good in the eyes of Herta space station workers. That is just, I cannot imagine what kind of horrors Herta puts them through. And additionally, just the Illusory Automaton, mainly because of how it brings into question, like, could the history fictionologies just not actually be real? Could they also just be a fabrication of, like, a greater being? Could the Enigmata just be going into, like, squared levels of, like, relativity? I don't know how to, like, properly say it, but just fiction squared, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Just it broke my mind when I first read it, and I'm just, like, so confused, but I need to learn more about the history fictionologists now. Anyways, with all that being said and done, I certainly hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will enjoy the future videos to come. I'm glad that I'm sort of back into making videos again. And as a whole, yeah, I'm just very thankful for everybody in this year. Subscribe if you like this sort of content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!